adesso. Share? Yes. Share. Yes, okay. Sorry. Okay. Tamirandasya jnana jatsalapeya Ekritam tasmai Shri Gurave Shri Chaitanya Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Gurvam Yena Suparantiram Shri Guru Shri Guru Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagara Raghunatham Vidam Tam Saji Sadvaitam Sam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Shri Radha Shri Radham Shri Vishalatam Vidam Namo Vishnupada Krishna Krishna Shrimate Virayam जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य श्री just showing you a minute video. Okay. Sound is muted. I think.
Select करना पड़ेगा to 4x4 matrix project. Yes, it's on now project.
Okay. Look at this picture carefully. You understand this? Again, you see this carefully. Okay. So, the top person, he found it hard in the beginning and he found it easy later. Whereas the person below, he found it easy in the beginning and he found it hard. So, in this world, the tapasya which a devotee performs is like the top one. Initially, you are ready to take trouble, and later on, life becomes very easy for the devotee. Whereas the other fellows, the non-devotees, they want easy-going life in the beginning, and the later part of the life becomes very hard. So, in this interesting observation, I will tell you, both have difficulty. This fellow has difficulty in the beginning, this fellow has difficulty later. So that means if you take a vertical line here, you will see that tapasya also gives difficulty. And not performing tapasya also gives difficulty. Correct? But if you do tapasya, Shastras glorified. Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shuddhyet yasmat brahmasakyam swanam. Okay, let us say the beginning part of your hard work is say X amount of energy you spend. By not putting that energy, later on you will put that energy, correct? No? X amount of energy. But what is the difference? The top person puts the same X amount of energy like this other person, but he gets purification. Correct, no? Whereas this person initially didn't put the energy, later on he puts energy, but he doesn't get purification. So who is intelligent out of the two? Top one. And what is the reason for that? Both are expending same amount of energy, one early and one later, but the top fellow gets what? That's the point. That's the point. So you keep this example in mind. I will revisit that towards the end of the seminar. It will be very helpful later. So spiritual instructions for a serious and sincere sadhaka. So we will see the three words: strict devotee, serious devotee, and sincere devotee. First, let us talk about the strict devotee. Strictness is generally connected to the discipline and firm adherence to devotional principles like morning program, four relative principles, and hearing Bhagavatam. Some devotees are very disciplined. Once you set them rolling, they go on and on. Have you seen that? For their whole life. Some devotees don't need any follow-up at all. You just put them in the group, they keep going on and on. They are like that. Like a train goes in a railway line, like that they go on. They're very disciplined, firm. They firmly adhere to the things taught. Sound is not coming.
Yes.
Okay. Secondly, actually, we can have seriousness. Okay, sincerity means devotion from the heart without any duplicity or show. This is genuineness. Sincerity talks about. Where does the word sincerity come from? There's a Greek word called sincere. Sincere means like wood. Sometimes there is a hole. They fill it up with wax. You've seen that? And if you bring it close to fire, the wax will melt off and the hole will come. Similarly, Shurpanakha modified her form to look like a very beautiful young girl. But when she came in front of Ram Lakshman, after some time she did the mischief of staring at Sita and wanting to kill Sita. That time Lakshman cut off her nose and ears. At that time her real color came out. She changed her form to look like a ghastly form. Same thing with Putana also. Isn't it? Putana looked like goddess of fortune, very, very beautiful. But then later, when Krishna sucked, her milk along with life air, Samant Chalaviti Prabhashini, she shouted, Chodre, 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 and shouted. And then she ran outside the Nanda Bhavan, the garden, and grew 12 miles long size. Still Krishna was not leaving her. So once Krishna catches somebody, he will not leave easily. He was holding on. Then she fell to the ground dead. But her real form came out. That showed her lack of sincerity. Correct? So, who is sincere, who is not, time will tell. One is genuine, or like we say, asli nakli. Like you have the asli gold, the nakli gold. Like sometimes people have to go for marriages, so they buy some gold earrings and put it. Only for 3 days it is valid. After 3 days it become black. You seen that? But that is only for showing, just to show off in marriage and forget it after that. So the asli gold is always shining forever. So our bhakti should be asli, genuine bhakti. That's what Krishna is looking for. Genuine devotion. Krishna condemns cheating devotion, like he says, Karmendriyani samyamyayaste manasasmaran indriyatman vimudhatma mityacharasa uchyate. He says somebody externally controls the senses, but internally contemplating on enjoyment. Such a person is a mityachara. He says that. Krishna also says that. He says, be genuine in your devotion. He says that the genuine devotion attracts. So, and third one, seriousness. That means serious devotee means they take devotional service very as their life's goal or a top priority. They keep Krishna in the front and other things in the side. Other things side by side they will do it. Okay, I have to earn some livelihood, outside, do things. But they will not forget Krishna consciousness. They'll keep it as a top priority. Actually, we all have some things in our table as a priority. I have to do this, I have to do that. Sometimes we keep our 4 rounds or 8 rounds to night. That means that is not our priority. Correct? No? Chanting and completing is not our priority. Or sometimes, if everything else is over in the day, at last some time is there, I will also read some few pages of Prabhupada books. So some people keep that. Reading is not the priority. Some people, as soon as some busy thing comes in their life, the first thing they would go for compromise is spiritual life. They will say, Sunday, no problem. Sunday we can always, temple visit is not that important. You can always, at the temple will go, temple is same place, okay. You can always go anytime. They will easily cancel it for anything else. Yeah. One good told Prabhupada. Prabhupada, I have so much service. I am not getting to chant my 16 rounds. Prabhupada said, okay, reduce your sleep and chant. He said, complete your rounds. He said, the devotee thought Prabhupada will tell him now, you can skip chanting. Prabhupada said, reduce your sleep and chant. And another devotee came to Prabhupada. He was very, very lazy devotee. And devotees wanted to remove him from the temple. So Prabhupada said, he called the devotee and said, see, you can eat, you can sleep all day, but morning 2 hours you have to chant. The devotee said, Prabhupada, can you sleep in the morning also till 10 o'clock? No, no, no. Morning you have to chant. He said, at least 2 hours you chant, then all day you don't do anything, also no problem. The chanting 2 hours. Prabhupada insisted. So, serious devotee means prioritization. What is priority for us in life? Is material goals priority or spiritual goals priority? Like for example, some people don't go for yatra. One family was not going to go. Why you are not going to yatra? Oh, we are going on a European tour. The family, that's a material yatra. I mean, not a yatra, it's material picnic or something. So, yeah, once in a while, sometimes you have to take the family to go to different places. But one of the easiest things people compromise is on spiritual. They think because Krishna is not going to catch you very easily, they know that Krishna gives many number of births also. You can take many, many births. He's very lenient. They say that can always be done. So unless there is a knife kept on the neck, people don't take things seriously. So something very pressing, only immediate thing they go for. So seriousness means treating devotion as life's ultimate priority. So now let us see these things more elaborately now. See, our devotion is like a young fire. And the strictness is like the summit sticks you put in the fire. Strictness. And sincerity is like the key you pour in. And seriousness is the attentiveness of the yogic performer, so that the fire doesn't get extinguished. So try to understand this example. It's a very good example it is. I'll elaborate a little more here. See, the fire, devotional fire, karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhaja, is Govinda Mari Purusham. In the fire of devotion, all our karmic reactions are burned away. So the devotion is compared to fire sometimes. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Kadhe dhamsi samidhognir bhasmasat kurute arjuna jnana vitakta karmanam bhasmasat kurute tatha. That example is used for fire of jnana. In the Uddhava Gita also, Lord Krishna tells Uddhava, when the fire of devotion arises in the heart of the devotee, the snake-like desires, they are the first one to die, he says. Sometimes in the forest, four-legged animals may run away, but the snakes cannot run. Snakes are lying on the dry leaves. When the fire comes, they are the first one to be burned. So as my devotee becomes serious in awakening the fire of devotion, then all the material desires are nullified. Krishna says that. So the devotion is compared to fire, and the wood that you keep feeding in the fire, that is compared to the strictness, the strict discipline. Actually, discipline is the discipline word comes from disciple. From the disciple follows discipline. That means discipline means time per gana, time per sona, time per japna, everything time per. There are devotees in our ashram who sleep at 9 o'clock. If he is going to bed, you can close your eyes and say it must be 9. Exactly where it is. And they get up at 2 o'clock, 2 or 2:30 or 12, 3 sometimes. So they have a fixed timing of sleeping, fixed time of getting up, fixed time of eating. And they won't be extravagant in anything. They are very, very, they do things in a timed way. There is one devotee in our ashram. Every day morning after the breakfast prasad, immediately he'll go to his room and read half an hour of Prabhupada's Leela. Now he has finished 30 books of Prabhupada's Leela. 30 different author books on Prabhupada Leela. He has kept a stock of Prabhupada books, Leela books. Now in the last 3 years, he has finished 30 books now. If you ask him how he finished, every day half an hour, morning, immediately after breakfast, he will just walk, light walk, then he will pick the book and read it. And that is the time most devotees are hanging around talking, they were just chatting. Generally in Prasad, people don't get up very easily. People talk to each other. Which is, I don't say it's wrong. You can have pre-selection with devotees, no problem. But the idea is, one also should have a fixed schedule for such reading. So morning, this fellow reads half an hour. Prabhupada Leela. Afternoon lunch, when he finishes, he will read half an hour from Prabhupada Bhagavatam regularly. Now he has finished Bhagavatam, he's come to CC also now. See, the beauty of this kind of steadily doing thing is, you will see that, small drops of water make an ocean. Little by little by little, he finished several books. He's one of the very good evolved devotee. He wrote an essay to the All India competition and he got a prize from the Prime Minister. He got the first prize. Same devotee. The Bhagavad Gita, the summary of Gita to be written in some 10 pages. So he wrote it, got the first prize. Because he's a very good assimilator. Very, very strict discipline in studying Prabhupada books. Like Raghunath Das, for example. His vows were like lines drawn on a stone. Sometimes somebody's vows may be like lines drawn on water. It immediately goes up. So there is strictness. It's like the fuel. Because the more you add the wood to the fire grows. That means discipline and devotion, they go very well together. Any devotee, that's why Krishna says that also. He says, Ananyachetaha satatam yomam smarati nityashaha tasyaham salava partha nityayukta. See how many times? Nitya, satata is said. That is discipline. So, devotion and discipline, they go very well together. So, in the Upadeshamrita, the first three verses talk about, discipline. The next three verses talk about dealings with devotees. So, discipline and dealings with devotees is proper. We can grow very fast in devotional life. Discipline for oneself, dealing with others. Both. In both these things. So, when we have a proper discipline for ourselves, then we can even successfully deal with the material desires within. So, we have desires within and distraction without. So, we can deal with both of them with good discipline. If discipline of a devotee is good, those people who don't have discipline, they have a tendency to postpone, procrastination, lazy, lethargy. Some people are very good in making plans, but they'll never execute it. Isn't it? Very good plan maker. They're called daydreamers. Is dreaming good or bad? See, dreaming is not bad. Goal setting means dreaming with a deadline. That is goal setting. So, you set a goal, like right now, National Chaturdashi is coming. When? Next week? Saturday. Only 3 days now. So, at least you can take a vow that I'll finish Prahlad Maharaj's teachings to his friends. 6th chapter of the 7th canto. Just you take some vow and you stick to that vow, you will see that gradually you develop willpower. You make a vow and stick to it. Then one's strictness will increase by that. So discipline keeps devotion growing. And then ghee represents a sincerity which enriches the fire. For example, some devotee is disciplined, at the same time the devotee has no duplicity. He is free from duplicity, he is very sincere. That is like the ghee added, so that grows the fire even more. So the devotion becomes more and more better when sincerity is added. We will see more about that. Then the Yajnik Brahman who is doing, they sometimes take a big quantity of sticks and they put it in the sacrificial kundan. Immediately there is smoke comes, correct? You see that. One time one of our Yajnik Brahman was doing that. I thought, my God, he has put out the fire, I thought, but the fire was very small, fire was there below. Then he was taking his fan. He was doing, then the fire came up. Afterwards it came up and it consumed all the sticks. Then it grew very big. Like that. So which means attention is required. Why? Sometimes if you are strict with yourself, we may give up everything and run away. Some people have done that, correct? On the other hand, if you are too slack in your spiritual practice, then you never see such a person. He never shows up. So it's like pendulum, either extreme. So, like there was one fellow, he told Prabhupada that I want to chant 64 rounds daily. Prabhupada said, I have given you 16 rounds, just stick to it and do seva all day. But he said, oh sorry, not 64 rounds, 190 He said like Haridas Thakur. So Prabhupada didn't allow 2 times he asked. Then he went ahead and made one cottage in the village for himself. He thought like Haridasa I will copy the same thing. Brought a Tulsi, a cottage, because he probably he heard the story of Haridasa delivering the prostitute. He got very inspired by Haridasa serious chanting. So he started chanting, and devotees used to go and check and come. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, he was there. After 1 month, he was absconding. He didn't find him. They went and told Prabhupada, he's missing. Then after 3, 4 months, they found him in a petrol bunk, giving petrol. One devotee saw him, hey, you're here. Prabhu, what happened? You have given up. Are you chanting? He said, no, I already chanted for many years, I already chanted. Extra I have chanted, he said. He couldn't continue. So sometimes over punishing oneself with too much strictness, which is beyond one's ability, that also can be. Even if you want to grow, you should not try to grow instantly. You have to grow organically. That's why we tell newcomers also chant 1 round, then 2 rounds, then 4 rounds, then 6 rounds, 8 rounds. Like that we take them ahead. Some people come 1 round, they jump to 16 rounds and we don't see them at all. Which we don't want. It leads to rejection, you see. Or one who is slack, there are people who are chanting very slowly, 1 round, 2 rounds, and even after 5 years they don't increase. Like there was one group, they invited me to give a class. They said, that speaker told me that these are all senior citizens, gentlemanly people, and I'm only taking Mola Ramayana for them, reading the verse and the translation. And he asked, what about ISKCON? Shh, you're not about ISKCON. What about Krishna? Shh, not about Krishna till now. What about Mahamantra? Shh, not now. Fast, 40 of them are coming. Slowly, slowly I will take them ahead. Once they get a higher taste by the Ramayana, then slowly I am planning to introduce Hare Krishna mantra to them. I said, say, all of them are already 70 plus. Senior citizens. I don't know how slow you are going to be. By the time you give the Maha Mantra, they should be alive. So this is an example of a Slack program. So some people are in the Slack and some people are in the overly rigid end. So we should not fear to give the Maha Mantra. We can even give Maha Mantra in the first go also. In fact, in one program, when I was giving the Maha Mantra to chant, people said, why we have to sit and chant? Can't we dance? Yeah. I was amazed, hey, you're all newcomers, you're not supposed to dance. They said, what, Prabhuji, we know everything. Why your devotees in temple can dance, we can't dance? Then immediately they brought a Mridangam, started Kirtan. Then first program only dancing Kirtan. Nowadays many people are ready. Huh? So we should not fear too much to give Mahamantra or knowledge about Krishna or from Prabhupada books. So when it comes to making people serious, we should know, like in one program, one Perthurusha program, one couple was coming, one South Indian couple was regularly coming. Suddenly they stopped coming. After 2, 3 months of coming, they stopped. And next 2, 3 months they didn't come only. So the leader was worried. He told one devotee, go to their house and sweetly talk to them and find out why they got offended, why are they not coming. So they went to their home and they checked. The family came to know as soon as the Bhakti Vishal leader told that you have to give up coffee. So they gave up the program. Then the preacher told, there's something called herbal coffee, herbal tea. He gave all those herbal things and brought them back again. So sometimes too much strictness, and if you administer, people run away. And if you're not strict at all, then also they don't come regularly, they don't grow at all. So we need that's why it is said careful attention is required. How much to feed the sticks, is it? The wood of strictness, how to administer that requires attentiveness. Let us see further. Okay, now let's go one by one. Strict devotee. Who is a strict devotee? One of you can read it.
One who sticks to his vow, taken without any compromise, like lines drawn on stone. Example, Raghunath Das Goswami.
Yeah, I told you. Anybody knows the second one? Monkey who took Ekadashi vow. So, of course, he took Ekadashi vow, but his friends distracted him. His friends told him, say Ekadashi day is a fasting day, you will get 2 weeks. Next day, you may not be able to even lift a fruit. Got afraid. So collect fruits and keep. So collected fruits. He said, next day you may not be able to even bite a fruit. Then he bit it and kept it in pieces. One monkey came and told him that you may not be even able to lift a fruit. Then he was wondering what to do then. He said, just keep it here, top and bottom. Anyway, monkey has a mouth like this. Huh? And then Ekadashi day, he fast the next day, he can eat. So when he kept it in the mouth, in the top and bottom, do you think he could keep it? So there was no more nirjal. His Ekadashi nirjal was finished. Huh? So it was a monkey who is known for his slackness. Similarly, how many of you experience we think, yeah, slowly we make it 30 and we make it 25. At last, at the end of the day, we find this thing got over. And it can happen. So I think that's like exactly like the monkey vow. It's very easy to take the vow, but very difficult to keep the vow. Not very easy. If you go to any gym, on January 1st, there is a overflow of people. So one man went to the gym and saw that all the machines were booked. So he was very frustrated. The gym owner told him, don't be so frustrated, come 2 weeks later. He asked, why? What will be the difference? Half of the guys won't come. Because people take a vow, but they don't follow the vow. So it's called Arambashurata, we call it. Beginning with a great entu, but not continuing. You know the flower pot they call anar, they call it like that. In about 5 seconds it will be over. But there is another one which is 10,000 wala. You see that long one, strip. Once you start it, slowly it will start. Then you go on. Goes to you want and how long will it go? You keep peeping outside the window, you keep seeing it's going on. So our spiritual life should be like that. Anar are like this, 10,000 wala. One stick to it. Like whatever disciplines we take, we should follow it throughout our life. People should see 5 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later. One should not lose that enthusiasm. You see, some people are very early stage, but 1 decade or 2 decades later, they become little dull. They don't have that type of enthusiasm. What causes the no going down of the enthusiasm? I will show you. What causes that? See, initially, see a midlife crisis. This is not only for brahmachari, this can happen to grihastha also. See, the midlife crisis can occur through, though the nature of challenge is spiritual rather than material. The phase of late 30s and 40s can bring new internal struggles, just as the 20s and early 30s were about externally proving one's commitment. See, first 10 years of ashram life, external commitment you show. After that, next 10 years, internal commitment is required. For example, when you are newly joined, the novelty of ashram life, new inspiration, I have to learn how to play mridanga. You look at others, you also want to play nice. And you want to learn to worship the deity. You want to learn to sing. You want to learn to sing. You also want to learn how to speak lectures in the college or English programs. So there's a lot of things to learn, novelty. Also, in the early stage, one has come with a great willpower and determination. And you get a lot of other associations of devotees also. Many swamis come, sannyasis come. You are very humble and simple. You do a lot of services to them. You make a lot of advancement. And also they announce your names in the morning that so and so received so many books, Haribols, so many Haribols you get. Isn't it a lot of enthusiasm? But as one goes to 30 or 40, new factors arise. The initial enthusiasm may not feel the same. The ashram is no longer new. It has become routine. Like daily, same morning Mangalarati, Nashkaturshati, one may find it, oh, it's the same old thing. And then long-term renunciation becomes more real. Mind is wondering, oh, is this my life forever? Like, for example, it's very easy to join the ashram, but to maintain that uh, stature of discipline for a long time requires a real taste. Without that, it's difficult. Now, hormonal and psychological changes, you see, that's called as testosterone. Testosterone levels in men naturally decline in late 30s. This is not only for brahmacharis, even for the men also. After 30, 40, you will see some subtle emotional fluctuations happen. I'll show you what it is. You know. And loss of external validation. Once you become senior, people assume that you are senior and you don't need encouragement. Now he is no more a new devotee. No? New bhakta, somebody will come and give you sweet rice, somebody give you halwa. When you are grown up, people leave you. They expect that you have to be on your own, self-motivated. Even in congregation, also devotees have experience. Once you are 10 years or so senior, many people fear to give you feedback. They think you will become upset. So, or they assume that you are quote unquote advanced devotee. Yeah. Think like that. See, what is this testosterone? It's a hormone produced in testes in men and in a smaller amounts in the ovaries in women and the adrenal glands of both sexes. It plays a key role in male development, muscle growth, bone strength, energy levels, all these things. What happens when the physical development responsible for deep voice, you see, facial or bodily hair and muscle mass, your energy, motivation, your enthusiasm, drive, focus, all that. It regulates the mood, influences emotion, confidence, and resilience. See, sexual function, and bone and muscle strength. All these things are dependent on this testosterone. But what happens to this, as it given below, hormonal changes with age. Testosterone levels naturally decline after 30 to 35, which may affect energy levels, enthusiasm, and emotions. Starts becoming little weaker as you go to 40, 50, 60. Physically, one becomes little weak and one becomes surprised. Hey, I was so strong before, why my body is getting little weak? Hmm? And also, lower levels may cause mood fluctuations or emotional vulnerability, making it essential for someone to stay engaged in active service and spiritual practice. Now, how to overcome this, that is also given here. You can see. The spiritual strength versus hormonal influence. While the body has biological tendencies, a brahmachari's strength comes from spiritual practice, self-control, and deep engagement in Krishna service. That means three things are mentioned here. Serious spiritual practice in the morning program and self-control in strictly following the four regulative principles and deep engagement in Krishna Seva by preaching, traveling, writing, reading, explaining, and in this way absorbing oneself in varieties of Krishna conscious engagements. These three are very important. So it's very easy to remember these three. Spiritual practice means 4:30 to 9:30 in the morning. And self-control means the four rights. And deep engagement is hearing and chanting and Janma Sadhaka and Karapara. So these three, if devotee does well, then one develops a param drishtva, you develop a higher taste, then you can give up lower taste. Now, how to maintain the balance here? There are four ideas given. Active lifestyle, engage in physical service, exercise or walking to maintain vitality. Simple sattvic food. Now what happens? If one is when between 20 to 30 you can eat opulent foods. Correct now. And it's got not needless to say how they eat. You know that. But after 30 can you eat like that? 30 to 40, 40 to 50. Now people still eat. They somehow eat it and then they put some powder to remove it. Which is not very good thing to do. So with increasing age, our food should go from opulence to simplicity. As you go to 40, 30, 40, 50. Uh, because if your happiness is going to depend on the external things like the food, the living conditions, and all those things, then you'll be the most unhappy person. Our happiness should come from within, from our devotion to the Lord. So, therefore, and another thing, preachers sit in one, like I'm sitting now. Some days I have given 8 lectures like this in one day. That will go from one Vyasa to another Vyasa. You're sitting all the time. And if you're sitting and not doing exercise, you'll have a big tummy. So, like sometimes you have a Brahman with a big tummy. You've seen that doll, isn't it? So, therefore, you have to do some exercise. You have to walk. That's what it's in physical service exercise, walking. Balanced diet. Regulated rest, proper sleep balances hormones. And strong sadhana, chanting, studying shastra, associating with devotees. Now, when you are very small devotee, new devotee, you easily go to senior devotees and seek guidance, seek help. And you feel no shyness because you don't think yourself to be very big devotee. But after you become saffron devotees or congregation, you become second initial devotee. Sometimes there is a little reservation. Although there is a program going on, why should I go and attend? I am not a new kid. I know everything. It is called as I know it all syndrome. One type of syndrome it is. So when we think I know it all, then we are unable to associate. But there are advanced devotees who don't mind taking any association, even if there is somebody junior is speaking, something meaningfully speaks, they are ready to take association. So those devotees, Jai Shri Radha Gopal. So here, the new challenges between 30 to 40, what is it? Dissatisfaction with the same daily routine, emotional needs surfacing, longing for companionship, and feeling unappreciated, or somebody questions your service. And what are you doing in the temple, Prabhu? You don't seem to be contributing much. Somebody says, what? You think I'm useless? One becomes very upset. And if sadhana weakens, material desires may increase subtly. So these are problems, but there is a solution for all of this. What is solution? Solution is here, you see. Not all brahmacharis go through this phase intensely. The difference lies in the internal cultivation. So these are the internal cultivation points I am going to show now. What are they? See, those devotees who cultivate strong attachment to Hari, Guru, and Shastra, they remain stable. That is why one time His Holiness Mahavishnu Maharaj came to Pune. The old Mahavishnu Maharaj, very famous and very friendly. So he was giving a Bhagavatam class. So one brahmachari was sitting in the front. He asked, Maharaj, how to overcome lust? He asked. Maharaj said, get married, he said. He said, no, Maharaj, that solution is always there, that's the last thing. But is there any other solution you would like to suggest? Maharaj said, yes, I told you, get married. But I didn't tell you to get married to a woman, get married to Bhagavatam, he said. How? Then why did you say get married, Maharaj said? You see, when a man marries a woman, he gives her a very nice Kanchipuram silk saree to wear. Similarly, Bhagavatam also is wrapped in silk cloth. You have seen that? And also, he takes his newly wedded wife here and there, marketplace to different relatives' homes. He never leaves her at home. He always takes her with him. Similarly, you should take Bhagavatam with you, wherever you go. And then the Brahmachari, no, Maharaj, but I don't get time to study. Maharaj, where did I tell you to study? I only told you to carry it. But Maharaj, I have experience, I carry and bring it back and study, he said. No problem. If you carry with you, in the railway station, if there is a queue of 200 people standing at the ticket counter, then you'll open and read at least one page. But at least you should have one Bhagavatam copy with you, always, he said. So he told two principles you follow, he said. One is wedding Bhagavatam. Marry Bhagavatam and keep Bhagavatam with you always. And another thing he said you should adopt a life of simplicity. He said, and then he said, simplicity means minimum possessions. And then he told him, you see, I am wearing sleeveless. He was wearing sleeveless. Hands were open. Maharaj asked, you know why I am wearing sleeveless? This much clothes I don't have to wash. He was telling, this much I have to wash. He said, I keep my dress very simple, he was telling. So, the idea is simplicity on one hand and also always absorbing in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, a person who lives very simply, there is no reason to be proud. A person who lives lavishly imagines oneself to be aristocratic. The one who thinks I am aristocratic, I have a lot of opulence, I travel in costly cars, I fly in planes, I have a lot of money, and a lot of people respect me for my aristocracy and like somebody says, I can If I can make a call to CM, I can make a call to MLA, I can make a call to MP. Some people talk like that in that tone. Because they have some high circle contacts, they tend to become proud. So, simplicity and absorption in Shastra. That's why he's saying strong attachment to Hari Guru and Shastra is there. Then one develops an inner connection and develops higher taste. And study of Shastra should not be mechanical. Let me ask you a simple question. How many of you, when you go for breakfast or lunch, you are looking for some tasty prasad, not just belly filling prasad? Honestly. Correct? Almost all of us, correct? It's not that something is there which just fits your belly, that's all. You want something tasty. Similarly, while studying Shastra, do you say that I have completed my reading quota or something, I filled my sal card, or do you want to make your reading very enlivening? What is the advantage of reading, making our reading and hearing program enlivening? What's the advantage of it? Nourishes us. Then only it nourishes us. If it is not enlivening, you are not, somehow or other, sometimes you drink a lot of water, still your thirst is not quenched. Like that, sometimes you read and hear, it doesn't affect us at all. We remain as if aloof from the knowledge we read. Or it is still hovering in the cloud, it does not come to our life on practical level. So, therefore, we should be able to gain shelter of the sound vibration. Prabhupada said, the spiritual master lives in a sound vibration and the follower lives within, he said. In that connection, I have identified that, it's not just the volume of hearing or volume of reading you do. It is the sound vibration that you come in contact with that influences you. Sometimes I have read only for 5 minutes, it impacted me very strongly. Like some of the Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita lectures. Some sentence he spoke, it was so hard hitting. All day it kept ringing in my ears. Therefore, early morning hearing Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, 15-20 minutes is very good habit. So that also identify whose sound vibration impacts you, and that impactful sound repeatedly if you hear, then it sinks in our heart. Then what is the proof that it is sinking in your heart? There will be a heart transformation. Like crying Arjuna became confident Arjuna. You see, cruel Mrigari became compassionate Mrigari. Arrogant Rahugana became humble Rahugana. You can see that. Change came in their lives. Like Dhruva Maharaj with material desires became Dhruva Maharaj free from material desires. Sinful Divachi Ajamila became a saintly devotee Ajamila after going to Haridwar. So these are all examples of heart transformation. That means the sound vibration has impacted their hearts. Similarly, in our life, somebody says, Prabhuji, 10 years I am reading, hearing, and no change. That means it has not impacted. It's not impacted. So that is the first thing. Actually, it is in our interest that the knowledge we gain is impacting us. Why? Because by that knowledge impacting us, when heart transformation takes place, higher taste also comes. Like our Abhay Babu, when he met Bhaksan Thakur, he started with Desh Prem, but his Guru gave him Krishna Prem. So in one meeting, he went from Desh Prem to Krishna Prem. Just in one meeting. It gives a higher taste. He developed a higher taste. Mrigari also, in chanting holy name, he developed a higher taste. Ajamil also, after going to Haridwar and serving Lord Vishnu, he developed a higher taste. So in this way, heart transformation is accompanied by higher taste, along with the heart transformation. So in this way, then by getting that shelter, like there was one boy who joined the temple, but he was in touch with his boss. And he would call his boss, and the boss would also talk to him. Boss would ask him, what is happening in the temple? When is Janmashtami? Yeah? When is this thing? And I want to bring my wife, children, family. So the boss was coming to temple. And this fellow would ask the boss, how is the company products now? I heard that they have started one more branch in Germany also now. And next year they're planning to do something in Australia. So he would ask about the expansion plan of the company. And the boss will ask about Krishna. The boss slowly started having Kantimala in the neck, tilak, and Hare Krishna cut hair, short hair also. So little shik also came behind. And his wife also with Tilak and Reddy Maharaj, both of them got initiated. He was coming in dhoti kurta. I could clearly, visibly see transformation in the 6 years. And this fellow who was talking everything, he was a white devotee in the ashram that time. So he started going home for a long time and eventually he started wearing pant shirt and he went back and joined the same company and he went to Germany because he was talking about expansion in Germany. So his boss sent him to Germany later on. So you are where your mind is, they said. This fellow's mind was in the company. That company wala fellow's mind was in the temple. That's it. So, therefore, we all have to see our absorption. Where is my absorption? Is my absorption in spiritual life or material life? So, if my absorption is in spiritual life, I am rightly situated. So, therefore, the sound vibration we hear should not just touch our ears and go away. It will beat in our eardrum and went away. That's all. No. We should absorb in our mind. Correct, no? That is very important. Even after the class is over, you are going out, walking, going, coming, you are thinking about what you heard, so contemplating and applying it in your life. Then that knowledge. Just like if your tawa is very hot, you sprinkle some water, immediately it's gone. It doesn't stay. Correct? So it shouldn't be like that. It should be something that you liked it, you dwell on it, you absorb yourself in it, you are benefiting from it, your heart is transforming, you are developing higher taste, and you are gradually releasing your upadhis and you are returning back to your original identity as Krishnadas or Krishnadasi. Then some real attainment of spiritual taste is possible. Second thing, higher engagement in preaching and study. If brahmachari remains actively engaged in preaching, learning, writing, and leadership, there is no time for self-absorbed dissatisfaction. Service itself becomes self-renewing. I'll tell you an example. There was one devotee who studied in ISC Bangalore. He did his masters and after that he joined in Govardhana village as a full-time devotee. Gauranga told the devotee that, Prabhu, I need someone to make these mud blocks. We are building the mud huts. So he made thousands of mud blocks, few thousand mud blocks. He also used to engage the college students who would come to GV, how to make mud blocks. They also will make. And then he placed the mud blocks and built huts. So 2 years, 2.5 years he was doing that service. After that one day Gauranga called him and said, see, now there is a great need for Radha Vrindavan Bihari worship. There's nobody. I want you to worship and I want you to engage some of the devotees. You are very expert in engaging. Engage others also. And then you become HOD of deity worship, he said. So he did that also service he was doing. Another 1.5 years he was doing. Then Gauranga wanted to start this Bhagavatam teaching. So he called this devotee and said, now many pujaris have come. They can manage the pujari department. So 3-4 years he was serving. This devotee joined in 2007. He joined. So 2011 end, Gauranga told him, now can you teach Bhagavatam? This devotee said, Prabhu, I am myself reading Bhagavatam. Now how can I teach? Gauranga said, no. You are very efficient in whatever you do. You study and you also start teaching. So this devotee from 2011 he started teaching. So I went in 2012 to Govardhana village. That's 2013 I went, 13 and 14, 2 years. 13 when I went, this devotee had made such beautiful notes in the computer of overviews of the different chapters of the Bhagavatam. When I saw that, I said, hey, marvelous. This is like diamond. Why are you keeping it with yourself? Publish a book so whole world can benefit. I said. He said, no, Prabhuji, I am very junior, I am very young. And what junior? I will put a word to Gauranga Prabhu. He said, I told Gauranga Prabhu, hey, this fellow is not ordinary fellow. He is going to do miracles in future. He is very sincere and first class focus he has. He has very good sanskar from the family also. He has very good absorption. You should, tell him to publish all these things. Gauranga Prabhu encouraged him that you should publish it also. And eventually rest is history. Who is this devotee? Radheshyam Prabhu. And Prabhu published the Subodhini guides. So when I was 2 years there, we used to send me regular SMSs. In a week, 2-3 SMSs he would send me, ask me questions. Prabhu, how should a devotee deal with this? How should deal with that? He was young. On one hand, apparently was taking guidance from me for certain dealings and things like that. But when he would speak the class, I would be most amazed to see how purely he presents the philosophy, without any adulteration. In between the class, he will tell me to speak. So I also spoke sometime. Some other classes I spoke. Some other classes I gave also. But mostly, I went to learn Bhagavatam. Not just the Bhagavatam. I also wanted to learn Sadachara also. How good souls behave. We have to watch it with our own eyes. So 2 years I stayed. I was at that time, my age was 48. Before I turned 50, I wanted to complete Bhagavatam and CC once. So that's why I went 2 years study there. And all other students in my class were all 21, 22, 23, that age group. So whenever they were lazy for the test, Gaurav Prabhu will come for a meeting and sit with the whole class and say, see this 48-year-old Radheshyam, he is writing test. So you guys cannot escape. I tried the test. He used me as a tool to get the test done. All of them. But why I was telling you, this Gaurav Prabhu, here is the same thing I am telling. Higher engagement in preaching and study. The brahmachari remains actively engaged in preaching, learning, writing, leadership, then he will hardly think about himself. He will always be spiritually absorbed. He is one such devotee. When I came, when I joined in 94, Chapati, 95 middle, Jolas Ranath Maharaj was placed a request by Jolas Gopal Maharaj that he wanted some devotee in Pune. So Maharaj called me to his room. There were 4 or 5 senior devotees there. Maharaj asked me, Rajan, can you go and take up this Pune youth preaching? I said, Maharaj, wherever you put me, I'll go, I said. And then he sent me. In 97, when he again called me, both he and Gopal Maharaj called me and told me to take up the presidentship. And I was telling that I've just spent 3 years. Generally, for someone to be president, they should have 15 years experience, 10, 15 years. So they said, no, there is no one available. Whatever best you can do, you do. And any difficulty you have, you can ask the senior devotees in Bombay, take help, they said. So it was like getting into president post with a school of hard knocks, learning through school of hard knocks I learned first few years. So from 97, I saw that every Sunday, for giving Sunday fees, there was hardly any preacher. In a month, I will get only one preacher other than me. So 3 Sundays I used to give. So I simply used to give Devamrit Prabhu's lectures and then make notes. Sometimes Ranath Maharaj's lectures, make notes, and I speak. That's what I've been doing. I did it for almost 4 or 5 years like that, until we got some senior devotees eventually. So one lesson I learned in that, when you are thrown into the water, you will learn swimming. So then I was forced to study, make notes. I had to do 3 things simultaneously: managing the temple, and doing a congregation preaching, and doing youth preaching. All the 3. So for all these things, I had to give lectures. Imagine in a week you have to give 4, 5, 6 lectures. You have to give different places. And I was very, very young devotee. So I used to depend on different ready-made lectures and make notes and give. So that is how I started making my books also, like the youth books and all I made later on. And then we started the youth centers. 2003 onwards, many started joining full time. But almost the first 5, 6 years were very difficult period, phase of life, sleeping late night, getting up early morning. So one of the reasons I am telling you this example is, when you have some higher engagement, then mind does not go for any lower engagement because there's no time. Some higher absorption. Higher absorption includes Shastric study, that's one thing. Also expanding projects. Yogaleshwar Prabhu told me that here connected to this Farmington, there are 6 colleges going on, 6 university programs. So he has enough worries. He has to go to all the programs in different universities, and also he has congregation program. He has some zonal responsibility in Brooklyn and New York also. He's a special master, has given him some responsibility. So in case you have already enough things on your plate, your mind goes from one to another. How to do this, how to do that. Then there is no time for lower, occupation, lower engagement. But if somebody is not engaged well, he will be staring at the sky. Mera kya hoga? He thinks about himself. Then idle man's mind is a. So, and another thing, in case any of you feel that you have become a senior devotee or a second initiated devotee, and in congregation or in brahmachari also, On one hand, you think you are senior devotee. On the other hand, internally you feel little hollow and lonely, and you don't feel that anybody recognizes your work. Then what you should do? A very simple solution. Make quarterly reports. Jan, Feb, March, make one report of what you did. April, May, June, make one report. And submit the report to your president, submit to Prabhu or somebody like that. And then he says, he will tell you, my Lord, I never knew you are doing so much. Hari bol! Then next day morning, Bhagavatam class on a Sunday, he will announce that this devotee has done so many services. And you'll be shocked. Hari publicly has told my services, all are going to lift me up. You will get so much appreciation and then you will not feel that loneliness or hollowness. Accountability is a very good method of winning appreciation. Yeah. There are some devotees, they do a lot of service, but within the closed walls they are weeping alone. Nobody recognizes my service. मेरा नाम कहीं भी नहीं लेते, किसी को पता नहीं. कैसा पता कैसे चलेगा? Unless you tell. Like there was one brahmachari, when he got fever, he will go and sleep in the health room. And he will secretly watch when anybody comes and asks me whether I have fever. So, then he will say, Prabhu, there is no love and care. I used to tell him, at least you should tell somebody you have fever. If you secretly go and sleep, who will know? So, in the same manner, if any of you feel you are not getting enough attention, or appreciation, or recognition, you are feeling like left out, then you should go to your local leader and reveal your heart and then submit your activities. There is one devotee who is a senior devotee, but he has no program. And he is very frustrated that he has no program. But so when I met him, I told this devotee, go and ask the local leader how to start a program. He will set up a program for you and give you. He'll give you some place, allot some place for you. Don't be frustrated within yourself. So that's the second point on higher engagement. Third is strong sadhu sangha. Those who maintain deep relationships with senior Vaishnavas always find fresh inspiration. Spiritual friendships help remove internal struggles before they become overwhelming. See, two associations are very important for us, equal and senior. And juniors, that is not very important for us. They will catch both your feet and pull you down. Because they are junior, they are below you, they find your catching your feet very easy also to pull you. Whereas seniors will catch our shika and pull us up. And the peers who are in our sides, they will never fear to give you feedback. They will, how many of you got good enough feedback from your peers? Correct, no? They will tell you what you need to improve. So they will give, without any remuneration, they'll give you feedback. Really. So, because they give you feedback and seniors give you instruction. The combination of the feedback you get and feedback helps you to reveal your heart to the senior and take help. The seniors give you instruction and they chalk out a program for you to grow. So these two are very important for us. So therefore here he is saying that maintain a deep relationship with senior Vaishnavas always and find fresh inspiration. Then you can remove the internal struggles. They cannot become overwhelming. Those who are trying to handle internal pressures on their own, they sometimes are knocked off by depression, loneliness and things like that. We need a very honest and frank relationship with some equals and seniors. I spent many times time with Gauranga Prabhu, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, Amarendra Prabhu, Amogilla Prabhu, this type of devotees. Because I was recently in Richmond. Amarendra was supposed to come. He had traveled almost 12 hours to some other place. But still, he and his wife, they came. They spent almost half a day with us. So, spending time with those whom you admire, it can be very deeply fulfilling. It can make an impression for weeks to come. Similarly, here I have come to Yugalakshya Prabhu's place here. So, in this way, when we are spending some time with devotees, with whom you can relate well, that will give. So, without sadhu sangha, Some senior devotees become weak because they are within the four walls, so simply to social media. They are glued to the computer and they are alone, and suddenly they find there is no one with them. So one should take some time for Priti Lakshanam with other devotees. Same with Matajis, you should have connection with Matajis, Prabhujis with Prabhujis. It's very important. So what we are doing is, if you have a big group of senior devotees, amongst them you can make a grapevine groups, we call it. You know grapevine? Grapevine means you take 100 devotees in a hall and you put, and then you make them into say 10 groups, and tell them that, so you all form 10 groups yourself, you tell them. And whomever they connect with, they are the ones whom they are fond of. On their own, like this they will form group. That's called grapevine group. Because the grapes are in a bunch, you have seen that? They bunch, like they will bunch up. Generally, after you take your plate of prasad, you are going to go and sit where your friends are. Correct? No? Generally, you find it difficult to sit with a stranger, unless you are told to. Somebody tells you, go and preach to the new devotee, then you may sit. Otherwise, generally, you go and sit with whom? Friends, so you can eat and chat both. Both can go on, correct? No? So, in this way, each of you have some circle of friends. So, keep Krishna in the center and strengthen that friendship. Then you will never feel alone or whatever. The third thing. And the fourth thing, seeing brahmacharya as a lifelong choice, not an experiment. If one enters with a permanent mindset, then fluctuations do not shake the foundation. Sri Prabhupada set an example by remaining fully engaged in Krishna consciousness despite external changes. And for grihasthas, when they become devotee, they should repeatedly remind themselves that I have taken first initiation, I have taken second initiation, my Guru has given me a great shelter, and for this I have a debt towards Guru. And I can't just go scot-free, that now he has given initiation, now I can whatever I want. No. I have to follow the principles, I have to do some seva. Like there are many, today morning my Mataji was entering service at the altar. You can see that many grahasthas are very loyal to Guru and they come and enter service for cooking, by dressing the deity, worshipping the deity, going out on distribution. There is one Mataji in Boston. Anywhere, any kind of big mass program happens, any organization, you will find her with book table there. She will put a tent only there. Somehow she gets permission, puts a big table with hundreds of Prabhupada books, and she pushes many others also to distribute books in Boston. So some people are born for this, born with this type of mindset. So because they feel a lot of loyalty and debt towards their Guru for the shelter the Guru has provided. So if you identify yourself more as a Krishna devotee and connected to Guru and Krishna, then you will be blissfully situated in service. So the last one is blissful through seva, jivadaya. And the third one is in pre-election with sadhu, saintly persons. And the second one is higher engagement, especially through swadhyaya and prachar. First top one is the feeling that shelteredness, this Guru Ashray, Krishna Ashray, Prabhupada Ashray. So these are things which can keep you, blissfully situated, irrespective of your age, whether you are 40, 50, 60. You will always be ever fresh in your spiritual life. The last one is acceptance of reality as renunciation. A mature brahmachari understands that longing for companionship is natural, but sees the limitations of material relationships instead of seeking external validation. Actually, we should not seek external validation. We should look for internal fulfillment through Krishna service. The same point they said, how to navigate this space, deepen and study Bhagavatam with reflection, look for seva opportunity, be honest with senior mentors, focus on the goal of Krishna Prem, and develop strong Vaishnava friendship. These are things which we discuss now. Always keep the ultimate goal of life in mind. Yeah. There is a Puranic story I heard that, there was one Brahman, one Dharmasetu. He had two wives. He had one was called Sushila, one was called Chanchala. So this Sushila was a good wife, cultured wife, devotee wife. And Chanchala was always a disturbed wife, and materially oriented. She was like that. So this while the Sushila was doing chanting, reading the scriptures, she was like an ascetic, leading a very, very pious life, spiritual life, austere life, rising early in the morning and that she would do. But Chanchala would get up late in the morning and she would say that ultimately, why are you doing all this tapasya? You want to become happy. Now I'm already happy by eating nice foods, you know, by getting up late and eating nice foods. I am enjoying life. You will enjoy life later, but I'm enjoying right now only. Like that she was saying. And so Chandala was more mentalistic and Sushila was more spiritual minded, like that. Now, when both of them got children, so this Sushila got a little daughter and Chanchala got a boy. Then immediately everybody praised Chanchala. Oh, you are very fortunate, you got a son. And she was also very proud that I got a son, you only got a daughter, or whatever. Like that, she was criticizing Sushila. But Sushila didn't bother at all. She continued with her devotion, everything she was doing. So, as it proceeded, as the time proceeded, at one point of time, this this fellow Dharmasetu, he passed away. Now, when he passed away, the two wives were left without any support. They had small kids, growing kids. So then Chanchala was thinking, oh, now who will give me money for all my programs? I have a lot of expenditure. I need someone to support me. Then she married another man and she lived in another place. So this goes to show that people who are materialistic, they very much depend on others for their own survival. They become slaves of others in order to get some facilities, amenities from other people. So they are externally dependent. That's why they can be easily frustrated. Because if happiness is here, you won't be frustrated. If it is outside, you can be frustrated. So then she married, but then the Sushila did not marry. She remained just like that, continuing her devotion, everything, raising her girl. So her little girl became blessed in such a way that, you know, that she was once blessed. That little girl was blessed with devotion to, she was gifted with some, what do you call it, a diamond or something by the Lord, some gift she got. So she got jewels and this thing from the Lord one time. So seeing this, that lady became envious. Who? That lady became envious. So she tried to throw this little daughter in a well. So Sushila became very worried and she cried. By Lord's grace, that child was saved again. She was again brought to surface. But after that, Chanchala became very afraid. I became envious of my sister. I thought I am wealthy, but she became more wealthy than me because Lord gave her gifts. So now, after that, she decided that I will make friendship with my co-wife and live peacefully. She made friendship with her and lived. But in this story, if you see, you will see that these two characteristics are there in two different type of people. One is materialistic, one is spiritualistic. Materialistic people only think about how I am happy now, whereas spiritualists think about the long-ranging consequences of their actions, like what Sushila was thinking. That's one thing we learn from their lives. Another thing, the material world is filled with people who will praise your immediate successes and they will never talk about the future. Shreyas, they will not talk. They will only talk about prayers. So, but at the same time, devotees like Sushila, they will not give up their tapasya. They know that material world is filled with immature people, foolish people. It's a fool's paradise. They will not take their word seriously. They will know very well that Lord's eyes are witnessing us, watching us. Whatever I am doing now, Lord has promised in the Bhagavad Gita that He will reward the future to His the future. He will reward His devotees with His own association. So they have very firm faith. They peacefully and very stably and steadily practice their spiritual life. So, and in rain and shine, they are the same. There is no difference. They stick to the protocol standards like that. So in this way, so this was I showed you this because I thought it's a very important thing. So it's getting late now. I can take another 10 minutes, no problem. Because it was getting late. Alright? So then we can go a little fast than this. Now, strict devotee all understood Raghunathas versus the other example of the Ekadashi monkey. Yeah? So that we saw it now. So meaning of strict devotion means follow the 4 regs strictly and then whole morning program. Krishna says, Uddared Atmanam, Atmanam Avasadiyed. Use your mind to uplift you, not to degrade you, he says. For that, your mind is disciplined, then the mind can uplift us. If mind is not disciplined, mind will degrade us. I'll show you. If I show you one thing, you will quickly understand it. That's all. See, see this elephant, untrained elephant. It can topple a car, it can beat up people. Very dangerous, isn't it? On the other hand, see the elephant can dolphin, take a gun. It can also keep loud on back. So our mind is also like a elephant. It can be a mad elephant or a trained elephant. Correct? No? Yeah. So we need the training. See, without training, mind can be as dangerous as a mad elephant. You see. So you can keep your mind like a mad elephant. That's what you have written here. Krishna says, Pramati Balavadridam, isn't it? So elevate yourself by your mind, not degrade yourself. Or we can say our untrained mind is like a flood, and trained mind is like a dam. That also is a simple example you can remember. Which has energy? Flood has energy or dam has energy? Both have energy. The flood's energy is destructive. Dam's energy is. So we want to train mind. That's why we need strict discipline, strictness in discipline. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was known for his austerity and strictness, you see. Daily was 64 rounds chanting. And strictness brings purity and focus also, both. Some examples were given. See, Bhishma, he took a lifelong vow of celibacy. Harishchandra maintained truthfulness. 6 Goswamis strictly followed the vows of sannyas and bhakti sadhana and all. Gandhi took firm vows of non-violence. So you can see that, there are strict people. We have examples, role models. Similarly, the negative example, Dronacharya. He was strictly loyal to the throne, even though it was siding with the erratic Duryodhana. Huh? So we should not be foolishly strict in wrong things. Dhritarashtra was rigidly attached to his son and the whole dynasty was destroyed. Aurangzeb is shown for his cruelty and intolerance and strictness. Similarly, somebody may lack human compassion due to rigid protocol, causing out burnout in employees and all, correct? So one should know how to apply the strictness and where to apply, when to apply. One should know. Okay, let us learn the second one. Please read it. Who is a serious devotee? So there may be temptations. For example, negative example is Ajamila. He saw a temptation, he fell down. Whereas Haridas Thakur got a temptation of prostitute, he did not fall down. Similarly, distractions. Bharat Maharaj got distracted by a deer, isn't it? He got distracted by a deer. So, on the other hand, there may be distraction in the life of a devotee, like Arjuna was about to be distracted by Urvashi, but he told her, no, I see you like Pururava's wife. Pururava is my great grandfather. I see you as my great-great-grandmother. He told her. She got offended. I look like a grandmother. I still have my tooth, everything all right. Therefore, she cursed him to become eunuch, Brihanalla. And that turned out to be a blessing in disguise for him during the Jnatavas period, isn't it? So, Arjuna was not distracted. Bharat Maharaj was distracted. Similarly, Haridasaka was not tempted, but Ajamila was tempted. In calamities, Prahlad was having unwavering determination in calamities. And in calamities, Indra lost his confidence while fighting with Vritrasura in calamity. So in this way, we can see examples, positive and negative examples. So the serious devotee means, like if you take aluminum, for example, if you hold aluminum against the wall and push it, it buckles. You see that? Whereas a steel rod will not buckle. So our seriousness should be like aluminum or like a steel rod. Like a steel rod. Satyam Kirtan, okay. Yeah, many examples are given here. So we can ask ourselves, how much time do I give Krishna each day? Is my devotion growing in intensity or am I becoming casual? You can ask these questions. Isn't it? So these examples I gave you. Okay. Some more examples. Prahlad Maharaj and Bhagavatam. Draupadi, she called only upon Krishna. She didn't depend on anything else. Hanuman, when Hanuman entered Lanka from one building to another, in each building he would put his head down and look through the window whether Sita is there. But there were many women, they were dressing themselves to welcome their husbands in the evening. So he was jumping. At last, by the time he reached Ravana's palace, it was almost 10 or 11 o'clock at night. It was a moonlit night. So there he saw from the top, Pushpaka Viman was there, below that there was a hole. From that he peeped in. There he saw Ravana was sleeping in the bed with both arms like this. On either side there were 10 or dozen beauty queens sleeping. And their lips were tightly shut, eyes were closed, and they were all holding some instruments like veena or some kind of mridangam or some kind of jal, something in their hands. And they were all fast asleep. And everywhere there was meat pieces strewn and barrels of liquor also. So it seemed that they all had danced and their pile and their nupur was scattered here and there. Their jewels were scattered and they were all in a state of sleep. So Hanuman, after seeing each of them, he very carefully examined, is it Sita, whatever description that Rama gave. Lastly, Hanuman asked himself a question. I am a Naishtika Brahmachari, can I see this? Beautiful women from different planets they have been brought here by Ravana. But then he was amazed about one thing. Although I saw them, I was not the least disturbed in my mind. Nor I was agitated or allured or tempted by anybody. Vikara didn't arise in my mind. There was no lust that arose in my mind. Why? Because my motive was to serve Ram in finding Sita. That means he didn't even budge 1 inch from that mission of God. So that shows seriousness of Hanuman in executing the mission of Ram. So for us, our mission is Prabhupada's mission. So we have come to Prabhupada's mission. Nothing should tempt us or deviate us. One of the examples I'll tell you how people got deviated. One man came to help in ISKCON temple building. But while helping with the temple community, temple building, he got tempted by the neighborhood land which was available for sale. So he had some money. He thought, I will take this land and I will develop it, like a housing colony. And then along with him, one more partner came and said, Prabhu, we both will develop it. I will also put money, you put money. And then we will give 5 CR to the newly arriving temple. We came here. They both agreed. But in the course of developing that building and selling it, this first fellow became greedy. He said, I don't want to give a single penny to temple. I want to take all the profit for myself. Other fellow became angry. They had a tussle fight. So he pulled out from the partnership, taking some part of his money and everything. So why am I saying many people come into ISKCON with good intentions, but they can become motivated over time. It can happen. That's a possibility. Initially, some people are very simple devotees. Later on, they demand, I want this post, I want this position, I want this privilege, I want this facility, and things like that. So these things come as a bad habit over time. So, but Hanuman remained always pure, undistracted by temptations. See, there are negative examples. Indra is often distracted by pride and power. You see, Sabramani lost seriousness after seeing the two fishes mating. Many of the modern youth they start spiritual practice, but they leave it due to peer pressure or academic fear, career distractions, or social media. There are many reasons why they start and drop the spiritual practices. Politicians with spiritual vows, they compromise on values when tempted with power or position. Actually, politicians sometimes come to religious, I mean, they appear to be religious, sometimes come to temple and all. Later on, they become tempted with so many other things, they get carried away. Many times it is all only for the photograph. I am also religious. I broke a coconut in the temple, take a photo and put it in the newspaper. I am a good person. But it's only for a show only. And celebrities publicly practicing devotion but turn away when fame or criticism distracts them. Yeah. There are many celebrities. They behave like a devotee sometimes and sometimes they get carried away with fame or if they get some public criticism, they think, why God is doing this to me and give up everything. So in this way, seriousness is lacking in these examples. So we saw positive examples and we saw negative examples. Both we saw seriousness. Then, lastly, third one is who is a sincere devotee. Read it.
Sincere, one who has no material motives, no envy, no malice towards other living entities, one who does not blame others for his sufferings.
Yes, no material motives, no envy, no allies. क्रोधो न च मात्सर्यो न लोभो न शुभामतिः भवन्ति कृतपुण्यानां भक्तानां पुरुषोत्तमे. That verse says, a devotee is never unnecessarily angry and never envious of other devotees. Never greedy and does not harbor any malice towards any creature in this world. They always wish well for others. And such devotees are always busy in devotional service. Bhavanti krita punyana bhaktanam purushadame. Read the other examples further. Sincerity means
Sincerity means genuinely desiring to please Krishna, even if we are not perfect. The Prabhupada said, Krishna does not see your success, he sees your sincerity.
like Jatayu tried to save Sita. Ravana attacked him. Jatayu, he did his best because he tried to, with his beaks he killed the mule and with his claws he tore the kavach of Ravana. And with his wings he was slapping Ravana. Ravana cut off his wings. When the Jatayu fell down, Sita was screaming. Then again he rose up. Until his last ounce of energy was left, he fought. Although he was apparently defeated by Ravana, still Ram told him, this evening I'll send you to Vaikuntha, he told him. Because you put your best, Shakti, whatever you could. He appreciated his sincerity. Yeah. Yeah, read this, spiritual lady.
The fruit seller lady on end 10, she offered fruits to little Krishna and received jewels in return. She was a simple villager, but sincere in her devotion.
Why she is sincere? She was not calculative. See, Krishna is coming, give me one or two grains, I will give you one or two pieces of fruit. She didn't cut the fruit and give little. She just flooded Krishna's hand with fruits, whatever she had. And she didn't think about what is he going to give me in So that's very sincere. Not getting distracted with prestige followers and everything. So Sri Emerson is saying, sincerity is the path to God. The hypocrite may gain applause, but not the grace of the Lord, he says. So we have some examples here. How many of you heard about the story of Nabhaga? Nabhaga's son is Nabhaga. Anybody heard it? Okay, I'll tell you. He has heard. You can give the mic to Prabhu, he will tell us. He'll tell the story of Nabhaga. He is super sincere. So, Amir's father, yeah.
Brothers, they appreciate. They say we are giving a word for next time.
Because he was in Brahmacharya for a long time. And they thought he won't come back now. He's going to settle with Guru. But then he returned back. Sometimes Brahmacharya marries at 40 also sometimes. So he came back late. So then the brothers said, oh, already you have given it. So they gave, as you said, they said, we'll give you our old father as a yeah.
Share. And they become the word, the soul is all
Yeah, correct. Actually, as you said, what happens is his father says, your brothers are cheating you. Instead of giving you wealth, they're giving me. I am more of a burden than a asset for you. I am an old man. And then he said, nevertheless, because you are a sincere soul, I will give you one Sanskrit quote, line. Sixth day from today, the Brahmanas were doing Angirasa Yajna. They will need the Purnahuti mantra, which they don't have. When it comes to the concluding part, they are going to be searching for it. You just give this mantra line to them, and in return, they will give you a lot of wealth. So he goes and waits in the yajna on the sixth day. The yajna is ending. Purnahuti time comes, all the Brahmanas stand up. Suddenly, the leading Brahmana doesn't know what is the mantra to be chanted at that time. So when this Nabhaka gives it, as soon as he looks at the mantra, he remembers it. Then he utters the mantra, because otherwise the yajna will not be over without Purnati. So when they complete it, they tell him that, we all have received our charity of Dakshina. Whatever is left is for you. You take it. Then in the Yajnashala, lot of gold, silver, diamond were all there. So he gathered all of it in a big heap of them. He was about to tie and take them. At that time, a black personality appeared there, and no one else was there. Nabhaga was there, and that person appeared and said, Nabhaga, how can you touch this? Don't you know whatever is avashesh in the yajna that belongs to Shiva? I am Shiva, he said. So it belongs to me. Nabhaga said, really? I was not aware. Can you wait for a minute? I will just put a word to my father and come. So he went to his father and said, Father, I did as you said. But now Shiva comes and says these properties belong to him. And father said, yes, that's correct. You give it to him. So imagine if your father told you what you would have told him. क्या उल्लू बना रहा है? You are cheating me. You only told me to go and take it. Now you are telling me it belongs to him. You have wasted my 6 days. Now if he takes it away, then where is the wealth for me? Will we argue or not? He didn't argue. He said, Father, you told me it is Shiva. He went and offered a big obeisance to Shiva, Ashtanga Pranam, and told Shiva, my father has confirmed the truth. He told me it belongs to you, you please take it. You can take it and go. And Shiva laughed and said, what kind of simple innocent person you are. He said, because you are so sincere in your dealing, I give it back to you. You take all this wealth. Plus, I will give you transcendental knowledge jobs. Your brothers only got material wealth, but you got wealth plus knowledge. Take it. And his son became Ambarish. Ambarish Maharaj ki, Abhavi ki. So such a sincere person, isn't he? I was thinking, who in this world will be like him? Very difficult. When he got his father as a share, he was very grateful for that also. He said, "Oh, I can serve my father. How nice my brothers have given me my father." He thought like that. In India, when parents become old, if they have 4 or 5 sons, they go and live in each house. You've seen that? 3 months here, 3 months here, 3 months here, 3 months here. They go on rotation. And one of the reasons for the rotation is the son also knows that my wife is also there, my mother is there. 3 months you can tolerate, after that, move to different places. So that if they keep moving, there will not be problem. If they are in one place, it will be problem. So it may be a little burdensome. So somebody may consider maintaining old people as burdensome in this material world due to materialistic propensity. Whereas Nabhaka considered his father is wealth. That very amazing personality. So it's very sincere soul. So can add him also. Name is Nabhaka, yeah. Parikshit, Prahlad, all these people. A negative example is Indra's attachment to post, Diti's envy for Indra, Dhritarashtra's malice towards Bhima, Duryodhana blaming Bhishma, and others. All these things are negative examples. So here are given many examples. Vidura served with honesty and no envy. When he was insulted, he was ready to go away. Sudama, even with tattered clothes, he brought some gift for Krishna. Jesus Christ forgave those who crucified him with no malice. Negative examples are given many. Karna, Duryodhana, Ravana. Ravana couldn't take anybody's glory, especially Rama's glory, because of envy. Duryodhana was always envious of Bhima. Yeah. Similarly, modern social media influencers sometimes show devotion but are motivated by fame, envy, or competition. Like once I had gone to South India, Coimbatore. In those days, my sister was a very new devotee. She was just handling 2 rounds or 4 rounds. So she was telling me, Anna, you like Krishna serial very much. You can see in the evening. I said, where? He said, TV. I said, I don't want to see. I said. But she very much insisted. She said, no, no, it's really good. Just half an hour only. So then she put on the TV. It was a scene where Yashoda and Rohini are with Krishna and Balaram. So in Nanda Bhavan, just outside. So I saw that in that half an hour, almost 15-20 minutes were advertisements. I told my sister, whatever 10 minutes movie punya I got nullified by advertisement. More advertisements and very little movie. That's in that movie also, they are decorating the Shoda and Rohini with so much, so much jewelry, with bright light on their face, and it's more of packaging it for the entertainment of the public and making money. Hardly any devotion. I only felt pity watching that. So therefore, we need acharyas like Prabhupada to give us the commentaries. You see, when you read Krishna book, you understand real. Because most of the things which are marketed in the TVs and everything, it's all for money making. You see. Employees blaming bosses or systems. Instead of taking responsibility, they indulge in criticism and resentment. Yeah. Even in ISKCON also, there are people who criticize ISKCON but don't do any good for ISKCON. Insincere devotees. Like this ISKCON and politics, ISKCON has the problem. Some fellows write long letters and problems. 20-page letter. They will blame from ABC to GBC, everybody. Yeah. And then everybody, as if, they are posted here for finding faults. And they won't do one good for us. I always tell them, if you can see so many faults, at least one of it you rectify. You do something. So here are some practical steps to develop how to be a strict, sincere, serious devotee. Very simple things are given here. Read it. Just read it, yeah. So this is simply daily morning program. That's all you have to remember. Daily sadhana. And this makes us over a period of time serious, sincere, strict, yeah. And then secondly, Whatever quality you want to attain, you associate with the devotee. For example, you want to rise early in the morning, sleep with devotees who sleep early. Like for example, in Pune, there is one couple. This couple, they call one family, and they call another family. In rotation, dozen families get up, and then finally they will receive the call, which makes the loop complete. If they get the final call, that means everybody got the call. That's why they wake up each other by 4 o'clock. They do that. So in this way, those 12 families are every day getting up by helping each other. So we can also take help like that. Yeah. So sadhu sangha strengthens our devotion and determination also. Yeah.
Even regularly evaluating one's or do or maybe
This kind of questions we can ask. How is my japa? How is my hearing? And how is my... Basically, every service I'm doing, every devotion service, how is it going on? How I can improve? We should keep thinking. Yeah. And then,
avoiding. Example, criticizing devotees destroys insanity.
correct.
Taking shelter of Guru. Regularly hear and serve spiritual masters' instruction with humility. Seriousness grows by serving under guidance.
You become more serious when you serve under guidance.
Conclusion. Deep devotion. Combine only. Strictness gives foundation. Sincerity brings sweetness. Seriousness brings fruit. Remember the way to steadiness, Nishtha, taste, ruchi, and longevity, pure God.
Krishna says, my jiva manada swami buddhi nivesha. At the moment of death, Gajendra seriously cried out, sincerely to the Lord. So be serious, Krishna says. Prabhupada said, success is guaranteed for a serious condition. Prabhupada says, one other person says. So I can send this notes also to Radheshyam. So I'll put it in your email only. Because these instructions, it will be easy for you if you go through it and then meditate on it. It will take some time to digest it. Things we... Any one quick question, anybody? Yes, please. What did you say? Which notes? Actually, if I give all the notes, you'll copy and keep it, and you will not read it. Therefore, I keep supplying one by one. So, little by little, when you get, you will read it. Like if somebody gives me a book, I tell them, don't gift me a book, give it for reading. I like that I told one. He asked, why don't you want for yourself? If you give it for myself, it will be sleeping in the cupboard. Thank you. You write to me anytime, I'll send you. So, you all, yeah? Who? Notes, this one? I have a lot of notes in different places in the computer, but I know where is what. I can locate it. For your, just for last one, small, for your enthusiasm, I will show you. You will get very inspired by this. See this. Amazing. This is a tortoise. The tortoise inside their shell, correct, na? It is trying to open the bag. The lioness is on top of the...
My goodness.
Once it breaks the shell, inside tortoise is soft. You can eat
This is
it.
quite cool. I've never seen a lion play with a tortoise before.
See, now coming out that, see? यदा संवर्ते चायं बोलिए पूर्वोंगानीव सर्वशः इंद्रियाणि इंद्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. How we can understand why Lord Krishna gives the example of? Actually, this is the way we have to withdraw our senses inside. Especially, I don't know whether we are so strict with Maya. You know, we may expose our senses very easily to Maya to get slaughtered by Maya, isn't it? So here you can see how the tortoise is capable of withdrawing. Actually, imagine if a lioness is coming and trying on your shell like this, how much you'll be afraid inside, isn't it? Huh? But the tortoise is completely withdrawn inside. So the Shastra examples are very perfect. I had a wrong notion when tortoise is inside the shell like this, then it is saved. If you do like this, it's soft, I thought. But all sides it's hard. God has given him such a body. Can completely withdraw inside. So this is an example for determination of the tortoise and his ability to withdraw the senses from danger. So Sthita Prajna, this is how he withdraws the senses and not lets them loose in dangerous situations. So if any of you want to find anything, if you go to the website, many of the things that I show you, you'll find it. If you go here, the website here, if you put it here, you want Gita Rahasyam, for example, Gita Rahasyam, 18 chapters, you see all the 18 chapters are there. And if you go inside, for example, for every chapter here there is a YouTube lecture and this is PPT will be there. Here you get the PPTs, videos, everything you get here. For all the 18 chapters, one chapter, one lecture. Similarly, Gita, this is Gita Rahasyam. Similarly, Gita Amrita Bindu. Gita Amrita Bindu, if you put. It's in Marathi, Kannada, Hindi. Currently they're doing it in Telugu also now. They're doing, it's available like this. Well, the English one also is there. It will be somewhere below, I think, yeah. Anyway, these are all English only. Totally 108 sessions, each 30 minutes, okay? So you can see it. For example, anything you take like this, see any one you click, all of them will come. All of them. So if you want a PPT, you can just go here in the top. Okay, you want a PPT for this. You click it, here is the PPT. And this is a YouTube video corresponding to the PPT. You have this. Similarly, if you come to this Bhaktivedanta Rajavidyalaya, I put Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Yoga also. Bhakti Shastri, all the 4 books are there. All the materials are available. You will not only get the lectures, but you will also get materials. For example, Ishwaprishad, if you go here, YouTube lectures are also there, materials are also there. Bhakti Vaibhav, some part of it I put Bhakti Vaibhav, most of it, whatever I put. So here, if you go to the newcomers, you will get many things. You go to the newcomers. Newcomers you get totally new people, upgrade spirituality, discover yourself is here. So many things are there. So any of you looking for any notes, if you go to the website, you can download, okay? Shri Prabhupada ki
Yeah.
Why he used to have access to all of that? He used to use material for preaching, but I lost track of it. The moment he said, I tried in the URL, everything came in from there. I remember that.
Actually,
It's the font. Yeah, info. You close. So
They're still there, I think. They're waiting.
yeah, you can info.
Yeah?
If you close it, yes.
But I want to see them. Who's that? How to see it? Just come out again.
Prabhuji, you have to press the escape button and then you'll see.
Because I have shared it, I think. Okay, well, you could hear properly, sound came well.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You could see the notes also.
Yes, bro.
You could see. I should put the notes here.
Yeah, you can put Koji.
The chat. So I put in the chat, you can take it.
It's because you have to install the fonts locally.
You got it?
Yes, bro.
I put the tortoise also. Tortoise.
Yeah, that one also. You can put. Video.
There are more than 15 ones like Windows, but I'm not in my.
Actually, I was referring to all these duplication skills in the shared earlier. First of all, personally, I got a lot of benefit by having the context of connections between sections. Tense localized and things like that.
Yeah, got it. Is that don't need both. Okay.
Yes, bro.
You are able to download immediately?
Yes, I downloaded.
Yeah. I can quit, I think, correct?
Bro, your class at 3 p.m. is also there. No?
What?
At 3 p.m. Brahmachari class is also there.
But if you are busy with service, you go ahead, no problem. But that will be in Brahmachari Ashram. I will put it in this thing in my Zoom. If you're free, you join. Otherwise, you all carry on.
No,
Today it came late.
we will join, Koji. We have put time.
Yeah,
for
because some Ypsilanti and also devotees are coming and but I can do it. I don't know what it is, the topic, but 3 to 4 is 1 hour. After that, we are going to college program. Okay?
Sure, Koji. Yes, bro.
Right, go.
Thank you, Koji. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you.